Going to market as an early stage startup is extremely difficult because sometimes they lack the foundation to make their message actually resonate. Here's a great example of a startup that is doing it correctly. So the startup name is Breakcold. It's a social selling CRM, and in the first 2 weeks with their MVP, they made over 20K. So it's less than 2 years old. We're really seeing some traction with it, and I thought it was a good idea to break them down. So we're going to be breaking Breakcold down. They did a pivot, but they are investing heavily in SEO. As we can see on their website here, like they really focusing on LinkedIn Power User and stuff like that to nurture B2B contacts. So the idea is to really sell as if it was in 2024, not 2014, and to build connection really easily with others. So a few things about Breakcold in terms of their go-to-market motion is that Arnaud, one of the co-founder, has a background in SEO. So he worked in e-commerce. He was able to really leverage that background. And as you can see, it's really starting to bring results with a lot of bottom of the funnel landing pages. And he was also able to rely on his personal network for initial product and feedback. So I've been engaging with him a bit, and this is kind of my breakdown that it's a good product. They were able to narrow their niche. And FY, I used that product for a couple of months uh, while I was starting my business to really start nurturing those leads and making some impact with my own. So as we can see here, it's really about like being able to social sell in 2024 and not 2014. And they really invested in social proof. And what I mean by that is they were able to quantify it. Sometimes it's like increased revenue, lower cost, but you need to be able to put numbers to it on the key metrics that your prospects actually care about. So they created a bunch of social proof. They have very interesting templates. And here I really was able to kind of talk about the way they are consistent with their updates, with the channels, with the feedback and everything. And they pivoted to a CRM with a social selling focus. So it was not the initial product. So they did a pivot. But Gab, you're writing stuff about messaging all the time. Why are you talking about go-to-market? Well, wait a second. Like this is my breakdown of their messaging based on what I've seen on the web. I think they should focus on those different elements if they are not doing it already. The first thing is they might be able to leverage buying triggers. So, for example, if there's someone on LinkedIn that just reached 10,000 followers, chances are they should be monetizing it up to a certain level, a certain benchmark based on what they are hearing with their client base. So it could be something, hey, just saw you reach out 10,000 followers. You should be monetizing your audience with XYZ or something like that. Then we also have expanding the social proof. People are selling on LinkedIn. So if we're able to really kind of circling it back, there's a really good potential play here with micro and nano influencers on LinkedIn that are using Breakcold and wants to show successes they have with that solution. Then we have sales pipeline templates. So they are currently showing exact steps with a bunch of other tools that they partner with. How can I do a good sales process to really build rapport, create conversation, and then ultimately sell your product and services? And the last point that I kind of realized is these are selling to consultant, to agencies, to solopreneur, and it's good. You want to have a broad targeting when you start, but I think up to a point, if they narrow down their messaging to solopreneurs, they would be able to target it in a way that would make it more attractive than going a bit more in depth with that consultant agency and solopreneur route. Which is bringing me to my how I would do Breakcold messaging if I was targeting solopreneurs. And this is from a very cool framework that my friend Pablo Chernyakov created. So we're going to be digging it down together. First thing, and I'm recommending this to every B2B early stage startups I'm talking to, you have to nail the ICP or at least redefining it. Who are they trying to sell to, and what are our time wasters? We don't want to spend time trying to pre-sell potential prospects if they are not qualified. So they need, in that case, the unique qualifier is they need to have enough success metrics in a large enough audience so they can leverage that and really kind of circling that point when they do their outreach and conversation. Then, the champion in that case is the founder, the solopreneur, however you want to call it. They're trying to get leads of the business that bring money. And the status quo is they have no system or they are doing it manually. This is all coming up from my mind because I was in that situation. And it doesn't work because they're trying to pitch slap and expecting it to work. They are doing outbound very differently. They think volume instead of qualifying quality conversation, which then is bringing us to digging it deeper. We need to map out the pain. It's all about the pain, right? Otherwise, you can spin the solution 100 different ways. What are they caring about? In that case, and I was able to rank them in severity, the two most thing is really engaging with prospect on LinkedIn. sales nav, or it's difficult, the inbox doesn't work, you have to do special feeds to interact with it, and it could be improved with the way you need to have different touch points and touch base with them, which is something Breakcold do. There's also keeping the pipeline and sales up to date. So you're unsure about it, you're not updating your CRM, you're missing out follow-ups and touch points. And the last point would really be you again, like following up with leads. So when you have those different pains and it's validated, you're able to mirror it to what are the features or services that and the capability that is provided with the solution. In that case, it's Breakcold. There's the unlimited sales pipeline, so I can create lift of prospects and go into it and engage. There's a CRM reminders and task when I can have daily tasks, making sure nothing falls behind. And then I have the unified inbox. I can link my email. I can send out follow-up emails when they don't accept. I can send out emails. I can do a bunch of stuff directly on the custom feed instead of always having to go through LinkedIn or Sales Nav and vice versa. And at the end, we really get the value prop canvas. So we have, with that as a solopreneur, you're able to nurture B2B contact effortlessly in 30 minutes with that feature. And the outcome is you can engage quickly in just that amount of time without burning your potential contacts and like just spamming people and looking salesy, which is everyone doesn't want to look salesy. And then you can have more touch points by being timely and relevant. So it's all about timing. You get this on calls as well. Hey, good timing to reaching us out, and you won't be messing up conversation between the two. I know lots of people are kind of confusing sales now messaging with LinkedIn sometimes. So that's that. And then you can automate it, have reminders, and making sure you don't drown in bad CRM hygienes. So if you've been looking for a specific framework, the one of Pablo is very, very strong. And I also added his newsletter so you can subscribe to it. He's a really strong messaging guy, and I love engaging with his stuff. Very, very strong stuff. Seeing what Breakcold is doing and how it would improve it messaging. What is it for you? There's four things you should do if you want to replicate the go-to-market motion of Breakcold. The first one is to leverage your strength and be consistent. Arnaud has an SEO background because of e-commerce, but he's focusing on two main channels. He's doing SEO and three technically. He's doing SEO, he's doing YouTube, and he's doing LinkedIn. So he's able to spend efforts on it, to improve on it, to have a better understanding of those platforms, and to really scale consistently with it. The second one is they were able to leverage social proof. So you are responsible as a founder to get that early traction in pilot customers. They went with their personal network to really get early feedback. And I don't care who you are, but as an early stage founder, you should be putting the work. Don't look to try to outsource this. Really try to understand why are people buying from you. Then the last point is they have the social proof that is showing a difference. It's not as a founder to get that early traction in pilot customers. They went with their personal network to really get early feedback. And I don't care who you are, but as an early stage founder, you should be putting the work. Don't look to try to outsource this. Really try to understand why are people. Then the last point is they have the social proof that is showing a difference. It's not increased ROI or revenue. It's really this is the exact numbers they were able to get in deal size by using Breakcold. And this is exactly how they were able to do it. Sell the sizzle, sell the process, showcase the outcome in a quantifiable way. And the last one is feedback loops are crucial for your product at the early stage. This is how awesome products are built. So what you need to do is to really find a way to always have feedback loops on how can I improve this. They did a tally form just to understand what would reporting look like in the perfect situation for their customers. I still got that email. So you really need to nail down those feedback loops on your product. But in the end, what matters is you need to make sure you're working on the right thing, and you need to think that speed is key. The Breakcold team was able to iterate very, very fast on a handful of different tests and experiments. Do you have the luxury right now to do it by yourself and to make the same mistakes that they did? Or should you work with someone that knows how it works and ultimately can bring you here in a shorter amount of time? I actually help early stage startups get there in 90 days. And so far, in terms of results, we're able to get up to 5x more replies and meeting booked in that period. If you're interested, the link to the offer will be available in the description. I'm looking forward to chatting with you. What do you think of that breakdown? Should I do another company, your own startup, something like that? Let me know in the comments. Thank you.